start, and I'm sure she'll join us in a few minutes. So thank you for coming here tonight. My name is Rhonda Williams. I'm president of the Putnam Republican Club. And we will start off, please, with a prayer and our pledge. And I would like to, since this is the month of the Irish, and everyone from Washington to all places in between are celebrating Irish, I'd like to give a little Irish prayer. If you can stand if you're able, thank you. May you be poor in misfortune, rich in blessings, slow to make enemies, quick to make friends, but rich or poor, quick or slow, may you know nothing but happiness from this day forward. Amen. Amen. So, Tyler Sims, will you lead us, please, in the pledge?
Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, everyone. So this evening, I'd like to recognize a couple of our special guests. 1 second. All right. We have with us Clay Davis, our property appraiser. Thank you, Clay. Rick Surensey, superintendent of schools, I'm sorry. Charles Overturf, supervisor of elections. Leota Wilkinson, county commissioner. Thank you guys for being here. Do we have any visitors tonight? If you're a visitor with us, I see visitors. I have to take some pride. So tonight, visitors are actually part of my family. So my son Todd Williams is here visiting, and my granddaughter Kaylee White and her friend Chloe. They're here on spring break from FSU. So, and then if we have any veterans that we can recognize, please raise your hand or stand. Let us recognize you as a veteran. Thank you so much for your service. Now, if you're wondering why the room is sparse, we've sent out a number of messages, but let me give you a quick update. We have about 45 of our members actually next door in Valhalla Hall. Tonight is the reorganization meeting of the Republican Executive Committee. And so we have representatives from Tallahassee here who are running that meeting. And the meeting will be to elect new officers of the REC. And once they finish that, they're going to come over here and join us. So I don't know how long that'll be or how short that'll be, but we're going to go forward with our program and then wait for the grand entrance. So, and hopefully before it's too late. Tonight, we're not doing our standard 50-50. If you were wondering, you're getting a ticket, and those tickets will draw at the end of the night, and it'll be for one of two things. We have a Trump hat, ball cap, and we have a Republican Club golf shirt. So there'll be two winners tonight for one each of those. Now, kind of doing what we did last week, what I'm going to ask is if Charles, would you come up and give us another overview of what's happening, the election coming up? If you all notice, you have on the table in front of you information on Randy Fine. Not that you aren't getting it in your mail at your home. I'm sure you've gotten several. We do have some Randy Fine yard signs as well if you'd like to have a yard sign to take with you. But let me have Charles come and talk just a few minutes like he did last month about this special election coming up. You're talented.
Yeah. Thank you. Yes, please remember we are headed toward this special general election that is on April 1st. I think I told you all last month we didn't have anything to do with the picking of that date. The governor's office did. I don't know if he was trying to send us a message, but being April Fool's Day. But anyway, that's the election. A week from this coming Saturday, so the 22nd is when we'll start early voting. And we will go that whole week through the next Saturday, which is the 29th, at our 3 locations. Just like normal, it'll be 8:30 to 5:30 here in town, out at the community center in Interlochen, and also at the government complex down in Crescent City. So you all can vote early. If you wait till Tuesday, April the 1st, then of course we'll have the 21 locations open throughout the county, and then on that day you have to vote in your precinct, whereas early voting, you can come to any of our 3 locations. We and Flagler County are the only 2 of the 6 counties that the whole county is involved. So St. John's, Volusia, Lake, and Marion, it's just parts of their county, but for us and for Flagler County, it's our whole county. So we have right at 47,000 eligible voters. In January, we had 37,000 because we could not allow the independents or the non-party registered voters to vote, but they're all eligible now. So you will see on your ballot 4 names: a Republican name, a Democratic name, the NPA candidate, and also there's a Libertarian candidate. And oh, by the way, there's a blank line down at the bottom, and you can write in a name. Now, we all know that write-ins don't count, and we know that Donald Duck, Mickey Mouse, God, and Jesus, they all do really well, but those don't count because they're not official write-in candidates as far as that's concerned. So, but there is a write-in spot there for them. You may want to vote by mail. We have seen about a double increase in this election as compared to the one in January. We're about 850 toward 900 votes, and we only did about 300 by mail the whole election in January. So we're a little bit less than 2%. As we said, we did 9.9 in January, so I'm hoping that we're going to be closer to 30% maybe, if possible. And it's possible because it's up to all of us. So I'll encourage you to please talk to your friends, your neighbors, church people, school people, your family, and get them to come vote because it is important. We know Congress right now is extremely tight as far as the House of Representatives, and this race and the one in the Panhandle that Matt Gaetz had, the speaker up there is really wanting the 2 replacements to get up there to help them have a little bit wider margin between the Republicans and the Democrats. So it is important, and so we need to make sure we take advantage of it. And, as I always try to close, we thank our veterans for the fact that we have this opportunity to vote, and there's not guns put to our head, there's not tanks in the streets. They're not doing the ballot for us and then telling us to put it in and us have no say-so. So I hope all of you will make sure to take advantage of this either during early voting or on April the 1st for the actual election day.
Thank you, Charles. We appreciate that. Know that early voting is going to occur at the same time that the affair is going on. So there'll be some overlap there, and I think some people we have that would normally work the fair will be working at the polling places. So we'll figure all that out. So I am very remiss. I apologize profusely to you, Ms. Brenda Bridges. She is our tax collector, so one of our elected officials, and so I was remiss and she's telling me she's going to join and become a member sometime soon. So. So, while I see some of our people from next door trickling in, I'll wait until the rest of them trickle over before we talk any further. Yes.
Phil Leary.
Oh, I just saw Phil, and Phil Leary just came in. Phil Leary, a school board member. Thank you, Phil. I also saw come in Bobby Payne, our illustrious former state legislator. Thank you, Bobby, for being here tonight. So now what I'm going to do is have our guest speaker, Holly Griffin, with the Putnam County Sheriff's Office, come up and chat with us. And Holly, if I have a bio on you, I'd read it, but I don't. So give everybody a little update on who you are.
I will. I'll do that. All right. How's my volume? Am I loud? Quiet? Good. Okay. Hi everybody, my name is Holly Griffith. I am the community liaison deputy for the Putnam County Sheriff's Office. That basically means I do a lot of event planning for the Sheriff's Office, appearances, chit chats about safety, things that are going on in the community. So I'm basically just public relations. I have worked for the Sheriff's Office since 2022. Prior to that, I worked for the Palatka Police Department for about 6 years as a patrol officer and then a detective where I investigated burglaries, homicides, sex crimes, really anything that you could think of. So I had quite a few years of some experience under my belt with just crimes that are current to discuss with you all. Give you a few tips and tricks today. Things to keep in mind to keep yourself safe and protect yourselves at all times. I do like to keep this pretty light and more of a conversation because I find that it's more difficult to kind of soak things in if I'm talking at you the whole time. So I will open the floor for any questions specifically to things that you all are curious about. If you were, receiving text messages from the postal office that aren't real, your scam emails, things like that, we can all discuss those amongst one another. So currently, a lot of people want to know about scams. I know a lot of people run into the scam phone calls, the scam text messages, the scam emails. You're getting, has anybody gotten a text by show of hand from USPS saying that you have a package or a piece of mail, that you need to get? Has anybody gotten a text message that you need to pay your toll? Yeah. So has anybody responded to these and thought this might be for real? No? All right. So everybody's pretty with it on that. So that's a really common one currently. Another thing that we run into is phone calls. So people have been receiving phone calls. People have claimed to work for the sheriff's office and tell you that you have a warrant and that you need to go pay an amount and turn yourself in, or you can buy a gift card. The number one thing to look out for if you're receiving phone calls saying you have a warrant or you owe an amount to the IRS or whatever, they're going to ask you for really specific information about yourself, your social security. First of all, nobody should be calling you and asking you for that information if you don't already know about something going on. And they want you to buy like a gift card, put a certain amount of money somewhere. That doesn't make any sense, right? So everybody kind of knows to queue up on those things and go, I don't know how legit this is. And most phone calls that you're receiving and the text messages, there's usually somewhere local that you can go to determine if this is real or not. So like your tolls and things like that, you can go to the DMV and say, hey, I got a text, I'm concerned about it. If it's genuinely something that you're curious about, and they're most likely going to tell you that's absolutely fake and you don't have any tolls outstanding. The phone calls, you can always call the sheriff's office and make sure that you are wanted. You would probably know if you are wanted. I would think. I know sometimes we commit some crimes we aren't sure of, but you usually know. The emails, who gets a bunch of scam emails that either go directly to their inbox or go to their junk mail? It happens often for everybody, I'm sure. Okay, now the number one thing with the emails, do we ever click the links? If it says click here to view whatever it is, do we click it?
No.
No, never, ever, ever. The best thing you can do is just delete it. If it's that important and if it is legitimate, somebody will find a way to get hold of you, and it's not your email. Another thing, let's see, we've covered scams. How about financial crimes? Has anybody ever been a victim of stolen identity or financial crime in here? Okay, we have a couple. Okay. It happens all the time. One big thing is the internet's a scary place. We input a lot of information about ourselves on a variety of websites often, unfortunately. So it's very easy to get our identity stolen or people to get financial information from us. One of the biggest things is just being careful what information about you is out there. And then another tip that I learned from financial crimes detectives, which is a good one to keep in mind, and I know a lot of people don't really do it, use a credit card everywhere, because getting money reimbursed to you is a lot easier from a credit card than it is from your debit card or from your direct bank account. With your credit card, you can call and say, hey, that transaction wasn't me. They're gonna give you your money back fairly easily most of the time. So that's a good one, just use a credit card. That's my best suggestion. Pay it down. Don't use your debit card places. Make sure whenever you're making transactions that somebody's not peeking over you, taking photos of your card. A big one we've seen is that we've heard of drive-throughs, like the people working at McDonald's or wherever taking photos of people's credit cards, debit cards, and their information to use it later down the road, whether it's they're buying stuff on Amazon with your card after the fact. So it's just very important to make sure that you're keeping an eye on your statements, whether it's your credit card or your debit card, paying attention to every charge. Because a lot of these scams, they aren't taking mass amounts of money at one time, they're taking little things that you aren't gonna notice. It's gonna come up on your statement is, for some reason, Apple's charging you $12 a month, every month, and you have no idea why. Call and ask why, because that's one of the things that you'll see. So it's just important to keep an eye on those things. So with that being said, what we've covered so far, does anybody have any questions or like a beware personal story or anything that they would like to share? No? Okay, let's move on. How many in here have children? I'm assuming quite a few. Grandchildren. Okay, all right. So a lot of times it's very important to be responsible for yourself and your safety, but a lot of times we find ourselves in positions that we also are responsible for other little people's safety as well. So grandparents, I'm sure you babysit often. Yeah, hang out with your grandkids, take them to the store, wherever. Children as well. So this applies to yourself and to your little people. So whenever going in public, the biggest thing is that you need to always be aware of who's watching you, what's going on around you. A lot of people now, you find that you're walking through a parking lot and 90% of people are on their phones, walking into Publix, looking at their grocery list or texting somebody or calling somebody. They're in the car or on the phone. Nobody's paying attention, ever, anymore, hardly. So the biggest thing that you can do, the biggest favor you can do yourself is, one, keep your hands free. Put the phone up, carry your bag close, hands free all the time. Get out of your car, look who's around, be aware of where you're parking. At night, park where it's well lit, and you're very visible. The biggest deterrence for crime is just visibility. So, and that's in the aspect of your home, anything. So if you're readily visible to really anybody, people are way less likely to mess with you in public. At your house, have cameras, keep lights on, let the neighbors know you're gone if you leave town, things like that. But really the biggest thing is a lot of people are really worried about their personal safety whenever they're just out and about. So my biggest thing, keep your hands free, phone down, keep an eye out, know where you're parking, who's around. If you see something, say something. If you aren't gonna say something, mark it in your head. So you see somebody, you're like, that guy looks kind of weird, but it's not really setting off an alarm so bad that I need to call 911 or I need to go seek help immediately. Just keep in the back of your mind details about people. If someone's concerning you, what are they wearing? What do they look like? So if something were to happen, the biggest thing that you need to have is information on that person, right? So if somebody does something bad to you or to somebody else, you are going to call 911 or maybe have to talk to a deputy or an officer or a detective down the road after something bad happens or somebody commits a crime, and they're going to want to know what this person looked like. So on top of paying attention, you're paying attention to a bunch of details at once. So what is somebody wearing? What color is their hair? How tall are they? What color are they? Just so that you are prepared in the event something were to happen, you actually have something of value to offer to assist in an investigation or whatever. So just awareness is so big. It's the biggest favor you can do yourself is just remaining so aware. Does anybody have ring cameras at their home? Or cameras in general, security cameras? Yeah? Okay. Are you all able to view those from your phone? Yep, so you can live view from your phone. So anybody that doesn't have ring cameras or security cameras at their home, I always tell people invest in it. I know it can be quite expensive, but it's such a peace of mind. It's not to say something is gonna happen, it's not to say something's gonna happen to your house tomorrow. It's a peace of mind that if something were to happen, you have that. Technology is a great thing. Use it well. Use it to your advantage. Security cameras are very big. Lock your cars and your doors at all times. So the biggest thing that we get is vehicle burglaries. That happens all the time. Biggest thing is that people's cars are unlocked. You don't hear all the time that somebody's window was smashed in for somebody to get in their car and steal their personal items. A lot of times it was a jiggle handle and they got in because, whoops, I left the car unlocked. I'm not hating on anybody because I've left my car unlocked a million times. I'm a suspect, okay? I'm guilty. But whenever you're going to and from car, house, lock doors behind you at all times, double check. Because crime is such an opportunity thing. Criminals, a lot of times, they just want something that is easy and it's quick and less likely to get caught. Somebody is way less likely to get caught if your door's unlocked and you have things readily visible in your car. So purses, wallets, cash, coin, guns, big thing, take your guns out of your cars. But these things should never be in plain sight whenever somebody looks into your vehicle. Because if you have something of value, now that might lead to okay, the car door is locked, but is it worth smashing the window for what's in there? So that's what'll lead to those kind of things. But for the most part, I'm not gonna like fearmonger any of you and say, oh, somebody's gonna smash your window, open your door, the whole thing. For the most part, people are gonna jiggle your handle and it's unlocked, they're gonna get in it. Otherwise, they're gonna move on to the next one. Anybody have any questions about those kind of things? Yeah.
My cousin lives over in Putnam Park, and he was telling me last week that they're breaking into people's garages. And if you don't lock that inside door lock, they've got your house.
Okay, so yeah, what she's saying is that people are breaking in through garages into homes. How many, I mean, obviously everybody, if you have a garage, you have a door that goes directly into your home from your garage. A lot of times people don't lock that. Do you lock it all the time? Probably not, because you think the closed garage is enough. But then you think, where's your garage opener? Is it in your car? Then somebody clicks open your garage and then your door into your home is also unlocked. It's something to consider. There are apps actually that you could utilize for that even. If you wanted to get away from an actual handheld garage opener, just maybe have a spare. On your phone, you can download an app called MyQ. It's, you can program it to your garage opener if it's compatible. And you can actually view on your phone, it has a little button that says up, open, close. You can press it to open it, press it to close it, and it shows you how long your garage has been open for or how long it's been closed for. So if somebody were to ever open your garage, you see, oh, my garage was open 2 hours ago. That's weird. From what device? When? How? So that's very useful, and a lot of people are using that. I personally use it, and it is very useful for the kids going to and from, you know, who's leaving and coming. So,
What was the app called?
it's called MyQ, M-Y, and then just the letter Q. So you can download that, it's free. Whenever you get home, you can just see if your garage is compatible. Most are. Yeah, our house is like an early 2000s home and it's compatible, so you should be good. Does anybody else have any questions? Yes, sir.
Sheriff's gonna put together a web page where you will identify locations of crimes.
Okay, yeah. Are you asking if he's going to? So we don't have a web page for that I know of, but there are resources. So my email is posted on the Putnam County Sheriff's Office website, and I am the community liaison. So all things community relations, people are more than able to reach out to me and let me know of hotspot crime areas that we could target, or concerns that you may have out and about in the community, things that you're seeing. You can always notify me via email. There's also plenty of other contacts on the Sheriff's Office website. We're all obligated to check our email frequently, so you will get a response And then the other thing is that a lot of people get uncomfortable almost calling the sheriff's office because you may think like, oh, this is nothing big. I don't want to bother anybody. I want to reassure everybody that you're never a bother. If there's something strange going on or you see something that concerns you, it is never harmful to call the sheriff's office, non-emergency line, and to notify our dispatchers, and then in turn they're going to notify us. So then we can actually do something strategic to assist with that. So if you have information about a strange car, get a license plate, we can look into it. If you see people frequenting an area that shouldn't be there, or you're seeing things of concern, they will notify supervisors, and they actually can create hotspots, pattern areas for deputies to frequent between calls for service. Some people even pay to have deputies sit in areas to do security surveillance, things like that, just to ensure people's safety. So it's never a bother. Nothing is too small for us to help out with. So just keep that in mind, that you can always call the non-emergency number. You don't have to call 911, and they will always put you in touch with a deputy or a supervisor, and we can come to some sort of solution to help you out. Anybody else? Yes, ma'am. Yes. Yeah, so she was, if y'all couldn't hear her yesterday morning, there was actually, they were gonna apprehend somebody. He was driving high rate of speed, crashed out, and then ran. The sheriff's office does notify a certain radius by phone that that's occurred, or that there's somebody in the area. They may even provide description, things like that, so that people are aware. That's something that we do for the community. It keeps people in the loop, and it gives them a sense of safety or concern enough to be aware during something like that. Anybody else? Yes, ma'am. A toll booth is taking money. So that's a thing now, that it doesn't take money. They're just gonna send you a bill in the mail. The texts are fake. The texts are fake. If you're concerned that you have multiple times gone through a toll and you're concerned that you have some outstanding balance, I would go to the DMV. And the toll text is a very popular scam right now. I think I got 3 last week telling me to pay my tolls. They are not real. So don't pay them any mind at all. If you have not received a bill in the mail, and you are actually worried about it, like I said, just go to the DMV. They can sort that out for you. Okay. Anybody else? No. Okay, well, good news for you all. I'm assuming all of you do take very good care of yourselves, and you are aware and all of those things. The point of this is just to kind of refresh people that there are crimes happening every day. It's not to make you very fearful, it's just to make you aware. Currently in our county, our crime statistics are far down from what they once were. We do great strategic policing here, and we are more than happy to answer any call for you guys. So if there's any concern in the community, we're more than happy to come out, put you at ease, do whatever we can to ensure you all's safety at all times. So yeah, and I appreciate your time today, and I hope that we all got something from this. I know it's all pretty generic and you probably hear it a lot, but it's never bad to get a refresh. So, yeah.
Thank you, Holly, so much for being here with us tonight. I know the biggest thing that we have going on is the scam, and the one big one for me is the tolls. Unfortunately, my husband travels routinely down to Orlando, so it took us a few times to realize we're going to get this bill in the mail versus, be on the internet. So with the tolls, so. But better to be safe than sorry. You don't recognize especially the email, don't answer it. So, well, now what we're going to do is, since we have the room filled up, and let me introduce one more. We have County Commissioner Larry Harvey also here with us, and Larry is going to come up here and give us an update on the REC. Also want to recognize we have our state committee man, Mike Scalepi, is in the back. Mike is our state committee man. So, Larry.
Sorry about that. Good evening, everybody. So as y'all were meeting, we were meeting with the REC next door, as you well know. Everybody's known that for quite some time. So tonight we had quite a bit of people in the room. I believe there was over 50 some odd people. And tonight elected me as the chairman of the REC. TK Crowder is going to be our vice chairman. Jamie Austin, who's not with us tonight, she's actually on a cruise because her boyfriend was going to propose to her on the cruise. So she's on the cruise, and she's going to be our treasurer. And Eric Ford is over here. Eric is going to be the secretary of the REC. So good things are coming. We look forward to that. It's been a long process, but we're going to move forward, and we're going to make a positive change in Putnam County with everyone's help. And we're going to work together more than we've ever worked together. So look forward to that. Thank you, Rhonda, and I appreciate it. And if I can answer any questions, I'll be, yes, Jim.
Are we having a meeting next week?
For what?
REC?
No, I'll be in Tallahassee for the rural days all next week. So, no, I'm sorry. We'll be promoting Putnam County and Tallahassee. And my grandson is actually going to be wearing a bass costume and giving out bass for the bass capital of the world. He's a college kid. He needs money for everything, so he'll do whatever I need him to do. But yeah, that's what we're going to be doing next week. I think, Rick Cerency, you go up there for that. This is the time. I mean, seriously, we're in the courtyard with about 30 other counties, rural counties, and the legislators come down, and we're out there promoting Putnam County, and we're telling all the good things that are going on. I often say, if we're not telling our story, somebody else is, and it might not be the story we want them to tell. So we got to promote ourselves. So thank y'all. Yes, ma'am.
Like you're promoting Putnam County, and we're going to be like everybody else and be forward thinking. We're the only county surrounded by others that
Yep.
doesn't have any tree preservation legislation.
Tree preservation?
Yes.
That's been exempted from the state legislature. Preempted, so we can't, yeah.
No, it has not been preempted.
It has
All
been.
the counties around us have it.
Yeah, but they can't enforce it because it's been preempted. So, yep.
That's not what
Well, Larry, thank you so much. We're going to look forward to having a lot of joint events. So tonight was your REC official, I guess, reorganization meeting, and then you'll start having your meetings next month. We're going to try and make them so, since half of this room is also part of the REC, we got to make them different weeks or different nights so that we can all attend both of these. The one thing that's coming up is the fair, and so I know that we need to talk about the fair pretty quickly. We have a couple of people here, so know that the club has not renewed our fair. Let me go on here. Our booth for the fair. So the REC has a booth that's paid for a couple of years out still, and so we're going to join in with the REC and move forward with the fair there. So we will have our regular people. I'm looking around. I see some regular faces: Yoma, Juana, Barb, Donna. Is there any Ann? Savannah, there's a few of us, Denise, that are regulars and working, David, the fair. So we'll get together, and talk about the fair since it's coming up fairly quickly. Fairly. And then we'll go forward with that. The other is that we got, if you look on, if you have a list in front of you, we do have some other things coming up quickly. We've got the early voting, don't forget that, special election. Drag a neighbor, drag a friend, drag a relative to the polls. If we don't get to the polls, I'm afraid the Democrats will. And my understanding is out-of-state Democrats are sending money into the Democrat candidate here. And he's building coffers quite quickly, so we want to make sure we get out the vote. The Boston Blueberry Festival and the Veterans Freedom Fest have always been on the same day. And we have always split that and attended both. So if you would like to be at one or the other or both, we're going to send out a special email. It's kind of a crazy night tonight, so we will send out a special email to sign up, not just for the fair, but for each one of these. So if you are looking for that, we do have our tents and our booth materials. Again, I think we have for Blueberry, we got David. Who else is the Blueberry Festival? If you've traditionally been a Blueberry Festival person, raise your hand. Barb, Ann. Who else do we have? So there have been several others. And then there's those of us who have traditionally been at the fairgrounds. And so that would be, I'm one of those. Denise, Yoma comes after the Blueberry Festival sometimes. Nope, you go with just here. Juana. So we're going to have the booth. Yes, ma'am. Yes. And we'll make sure that you also get information on that. So thank you so very much. Our next board meeting is April the 3rd. We meet at the headquarters in their boardroom. It's always the first Thursday of the month at noon, and it's a 1-hour meeting. You're welcome to come sit and listen if you'd like. And then the next monthly meeting we have is April the 10th. And Buddy, now that you're back in the room, would you like to come up and talk a minute about our next guest speaker?
While I'm at it, I hope everybody enjoyed that from Holly. She's very knowledgeable, and I'm sure somebody got a little nugget somewhere. The other is I'm going to have Clay Davis here next month. Clay is he's our new county property appraiser. And everybody always gets that confused. Tax assessor, property appraiser, two different things. And but he's got a lot of information that I think is going to be good for everybody. Plus, he normally touches on the new amendments that are coming up. And if there's something in particular that you would think needs to be brought up, contact me. Let me know about it. I have a pretty good plan and schedule for the rest of the year, but I can alter it.
Yep. All right, guys. It's been a whirlwind night. It's like, really, we're finished so soon. But it's been a good evening. Are there any questions, any comments? If not, we're going to move right along and we'll get this show over with. And the meeting is now officially adjourned. And then we're going to pull 2 tickets. And the first ticket that the first 2 tickets we pulled, you're going to either have your choice of a golf shirt, Republican Club golf shirt, or a Trump hat. Let me grab each of